All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. This phone right here alone has gotten me back into the swing of using a larger device regularly. I've had this device, folks, believe it or not, almost 4 months I've had this phone, and I've been using it since then every day. Ever since I got this phone, I've been making phone calls with it, text message, emails, you name it, social media, videos, photos, whatever you can think of, I have done it with this phone. And I think that is why, now obviously you guys know I like the larger footprints of phones, but when it comes to like a daily driver, I prefer something along the lines of this Indigo size, 6 inches to 6.3. Yeah. And so when people ask me like, hey, I'm like, yeah, look at the size of the Fold, Pixel 10 Pro Fold next to this phone. It's got the same size screen as this phone, but as you can see, the footprint is a little different because of the boxy side of it. This one's it has more body on the Fold because of the folding mechanism and everything. But when it comes to just sheer size, I prefer 6 to 6.3. But since this phone is so rounded, all of the pixels have come a long way since day one. To me, this is kind of back to the Nexus roots. I love the way the Nexus lineup was at. Like the Nexus 6P, to be exact, was one of the best phones that I had ever owned. Of course, I didn't know it at the time, but they have come a long way. And I really like this design. Obviously, this moonstone is a flawless color in person. Whoever is in their R&D and all the people who try to get the people to liking certain colors, and they do a test, and this is what I think people will like. They did great with this color. I just think these two colors right here are my favorites, obviously. I would have loved to have seen a larger version of the Indigo. That would be really sweet, but that did not happen. So I had to get the Indigo. I told you guys from day one, I'm getting the Indigo, and I got the Indigo. But these two devices were not on my radar. It was just the Indigo, but the tech in me will not let that live down. So when it comes to larger phones, the Pixel 10 Pro XL has definitely got me back on the map with being comfortable, throwing one of these in my pocket and just going. Because now I'm using pretty much all large phones, folks. Before I go on to the next part of this video, my current phone numbers on phones is these three phones right here: an iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Pixel Fold 10 Pro Fold, and then the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Those are my regular phones that I'm using every day with phone numbers, phone calls, texts, emails, you name it. So how's this phone been in the last almost 4 months? Well, I'm happy to report that it just keeps getting better and better. Battery life on this thing is good simply because it is my second phone number. It's actually extraordinary. I use this as a primary for I took more stuff on like phone calls and email stuff on this phone instead of whatever phone I was using at the time, because I had to give this phone a solid 30 days of like continuous use for not touching any of my other phone numbers. And this phone is extraordinary on battery, but it's even better now because it gets about 2/3 of the time that my other phones get. So the battery life is just great. A lot of Pixels back in the day did not sip battery like that, but this one surely does. Battery life on this thing is extraordinary. It is just, simply put, it is really, really good. And obviously the larger battery is going to give you that, that good battery life. But I got to get a matte screen protector on here. I think I'm gonna order me a matte glass because I have a matte glass on my iPhone 17 Pro Max, and you can see the glare there, and it's really bad. My screen protector was on this phone. It actually cracked, and I just didn't bother to replace it, but it was a clear one. And I have some more laying around here, I think, but I'm probably just going to throw one of those on there until I can get me a matte screen protector or a matte tempered glass ASAP, because I really love matte. Remember back in the day, everything had matte on it? Everything. So yeah, the screen is beautiful. The battery is good. The hardware is good. The performance is, some people feel like the performance on these aren't good, but I just think the the performance on these phones are so smooth. They measure up. Like day-to-day tasks, folks, is, you're going to get what you get out of it. I don't know what people are expecting from these phones, but day-to-day tasks on them are really good. I enjoy it. I don't experience any kind of lag from when I'm moving in between products or moving in between icons and just things. It's just stuff, social media stuff. When it comes to, shout out to Ashley, when it comes to just doing daily stuff on here, all these phones do it the same. So we can talk as tech enthusiasts for the processors and things like that, but in the real world, no one's walking around worried about what the clock speed is on their phones. They're just hoping that they can move in and out of applications without fail. And this phone definitely does that. It is a hit. It's a hit, and there's no getting around it. That's just how I feel about it. So, the performance on it is extraordinary. Now, an area where I think it does really well, let me get over here to it, is the battery, not the battery, the screen quality. It's really, the quality is good. Speakers are really good too. Turn the volume down. But the screen, and some people were talking about, I was telling people about the brightness. You can see how the brightness at like 80%. But these phones, some people are reading the specs on paper saying, oh, you're getting it wrong. The Pixels have the best brightness. Look, real world, son. These phones are not that bright. I don't care how Google sells it to people. The screens on these phones are nowhere near as bright as the iPhone or my Samsung phone. They're just not as bright. I can have those phones on like 20 to 40%, and this is at like 90%. And so I've been outside with it in peak brightness, and it's just not as bright. It's clear. It's clear, but I've noticed that these phones like to stay dim for some reason. Like I could crank it up and it'll want to go dim. So the only way to keep it from doing that is to turn off auto bright. But I don't want to turn off auto bright because I don't want to continuously have to go in and adjust it at night if it's real dark in the room. I don't want to do that. So while these phones don't get the brightest, the color accuracy is on point. Like this literally is the way it looks in real life. It is extraordinary the way it produces footage. I love almost like the borderless design for watching content. It's just good. I mean, this is a solid display. Despite it not being the brightest, it doesn't have to always be the brightest to be good. And I feel like that's where this phone really shines, producing the color accuracy of what you're watching. That is probably the most important thing. And again, consumers who have this phone, this might be their only phone. And then even if it's not their only phone, they're probably not holding up a bunch of phones next to each other trying to compare to see if this one has a higher peak nit bright. It's just not happening, folks. Consumers are buying these products and using them. And what's actually happening is a lot of consumers are buying Pixels. I've been seeing a lot of Pixels out and about lately. I mean, they're buying them. They're buying them. They're buying these phones. Just don't look good and work good and have good battery and good cameras and everything. People are buying these phones for every other reason that some people would say get a Samsung or an Apple. These phones are in here now. It's just going to take for Google to really grasp hold of the market and get this in check. This meaning the video cameras. The video cameras still are not up to my standards. While these are good video cameras, some of you guys said, I had a guy say on the comment, are you playing yourself if you don't use video boost? And I say the fact that they have to have that there speaks volumes about what they think about their own cameras. It is another feature on there. I get it. But I shouldn't have to use video boost just to get the best video quality out of this device. I should be able to just turn it on, get good video quality like every other cell phone can do, and that's it. Another thing that hurts this phone, I think, is the processor and the processing time of doing like the basic things on phones. Remember, Technically T back in the day, he used to talk about shutter lag on Samsung phones. He used to talk about shutter lag on Samsung phones all the time. And current day, he definitely could probably say it. Now, this phone doesn't have shutter lag, but he definitely could probably say about this phone processing time. And he would be right, because I say so as well. I feel like the processing time when you take a photo on these phones is way too slow. If you want to take a high resolution photo, it takes it and then you got to process it. Let me see if I can demonstrate for you right now. I'm going to go ahead and go into settings here. And let's go and make sure I'm into pro mode and it's on 50. Okay, good. So I'm just going to take a photo right here, real time for you. So you can see everything. You can see all of that in view. And I'm just going to take it and then I'll go to it. And you see how it's processing the high resolution photo? And now it's ready. High res photo. And I didn't tap and, do like a focal point. So it's kind of blurry up there, but let me get another phone here. And let me do it on my Pixel Fold real quick. Let me just go on the Pixel Fold and I'm going to do it again with the Pixel Fold. And it's just a processor, folks. And so what we'll do is, this is the DJI, the latest GoPro, not DJI. What we're going to do is we're going to use both of these as an example, and that's the prop. And so I'm going to tap to focus on the GoPro logo. And I'm going to take the photo, I'm going to go to it, and it's processing. Same thing over here. It just processes it. Now, our video is probably not looking too clear, but that is a clear photo. Now, let's go into the Pixel here. And these are great photos. Let's go into the Pixel 10 Pro XL. I'm going to tap right on that GoPro logo. And you can see me doing it there. I take the photo, go in. Even though, and this is another, again, high-res processing, even though the Pixel Fold isn't any kind of high-res photo, it still took a long time to process. But when the photos come out, folks, oh my goodness, look at that detail. That is incredible. Do you hear me? Look at the zoom. It's crystal clear on that zoom. That is freaking nuts. And this is why I say I love, love, love the Pixel for the still shots. I love it. I mean, it's just, it's magnificent how they can get such high quality photos out of these cameras. But it's just not fair. That processing time. Shout out to my man Taniguchi. Again, he said all the time back in the day about the shutter lag on the Samsung phones. This phone may not have shutter lag, but it applies to this. It has processing lag. It takes a second, like 1 to 3 seconds to process the photo. But when it comes out, it is killer. It genuinely is, folks. And I have no regrets about using this for still shots. I just need to get them to get their video in check. Their video with the video boost and all that stuff, it's just not right. I don't have video boost turned on because I shouldn't have to use video boost in order to get a good quality video. That also took a long time to process. Now, something that a gentleman said, and I'll agree with him. He said, well, you're thinking about the old version of it. This new version of Video Boost processes way faster. That may be so. But I don't know of too many other phones that have a setting, and this is a good thing. I'll turn on Video Boost and I'll give some, it even says video boosting video will take time. That just shouldn't be. But other phones can fire up video and push forward some great quality without doing any of that. That is what Google needs to work on. And I know it's a limitation of the processor. It has to be. There's just no reason why we have to deal with that in 2025, son. The phone is magnificent. Video on this thing comes out a little darker than some other phones that I use. However, when shooting video on it, it does really good with certain scenarios. It doesn't do good all the time. It does good in certain scenarios. I'll try out Video Boost in some upcoming videos, but I was using this phone right here without Video Boost for top-down shots. I've decided to switch back over to one of my mirrorless cameras, my Sony mirrorless camera, A6100. because I was like, man, I just wanted to go back to use this camera again. It's such a great camera for shooting video like this. Why not? And it was just kind of sitting around. And remember, I just bought this camera. I got this new Canon PowerShot V1 for top-down shots, but then I realized, it's not as good as I thought. So anybody want to buy a V1 PowerShot, let me know in the comments. It's still pretty much brand new. I'm just outside of my return period. But anyway, this phone does great for top-down shots without video boost. It really does. So I don't know, once they get their video in check, I'll show them some more love on the video. But I gotta say it, folks, as long as this phone exists, the 17 Pro Max, and any of the iPhone lineup, the 17 lineup, this is the Air, any of these new iPhones exist, and then this phone exists, the S25 Ultra, those phones exist. The video, any of the Samsung phones, any of the iPhones, any of the phones exist, their video is just better than this video. Now, you wouldn't know it if you weren't comparing them, but when you start to compare them, then you run into a problem for Google. That's just my honest opinion. This video works, and it does good in certain scenarios. Like, I can flip it around, like I said, and use it for top-down shots all day. A lot of you guys were complimenting back then, oh my God, what is this? It was totally this phone right here. And then some people were like, oh, I don't like it then. Which is crazy, but perfect for top-down shots in a controlled environment. Outside in bright sunlight, for some reason, it's just lacking a little bit. And then the front camera is decent, and no portrait video in 4K, and the portrait video that's on here at 1080p. It's just not as good as some of the other camera phones out there. Anyway, a phone like this is just, with that said, I mean, I can't be any more honest than that. This phone is absolutely great, which is why it will remain in my fleet of phones. Probably next year when I trade a phone in, it'll probably be this phone to get the new Pro version, and I'll keep this Pro version because this is fire right here. I'm not sure that I'll trade in this one either, but I'm just saying if I were to give up one of these phones, it will be this one first, for sure, hands down. And I still have other Pixels over here too that I could possibly trade in, but I love this phone, but I really like this phone. I really do. So it's your man Jay. Man, I gotta tell you, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is a fire device, man. Excuse me, Pixel 10 Pro XL. I was looking at the Fold. The Pixel 10 Pro XL is, now the Fold is fire too. Now, I just got this one, what, a couple weeks ago or something like that, or 3 weeks ago? Update coming on this joint, but I'm using it and I'm loving it as well. This phone right here, I'll save it. But I've already given you an update on it. So look for another update soon. But anyway, the 10 Pro XL, fire device, folks, well worth it, especially if you got it on sale. I'll leave a link in the description so you can grab yours if you haven't already done so. But I'm telling you, folks, this is a win all around. Some people are going to say the price is a fail, but it's always on sale. Bars. I'll see you guys in the next video.